Hey, how's it going guys? Welcome back for another TOS video. So we are back here for another card review, right? This time on the upcoming newly power release version of Sothoth, right? So Sothoth is returning with her Ultimate Stage plus Nightmare Stage next Friday, which is the April the 6th. Right, so you can see here, these are the power release materials required to evolve Sothoth, which is 2 power release material as usual, 1 Midnight Joker and 2 Demon power release material. Right, so let's take a look at what PR Sothoth have installed for us. Okay, so first and foremost, let's take a look at the leader skill, because this I feel that it is pretty massive, right, in terms of the change in multiplier. So leader skill, the more type of attribute you dissolve, the higher the attack. So basically, if you dissolve on a base multiplier of 3 attributes dissolve, you get times 4 multiplier. Dissolve 5, you get times 5 multiplier, and dissolve 6, you get times 6 multiplier. Right, so here 6 attributes, meaning including heart as well. So water, fire, earth, light, dark, and heart runes. There will be 6 different runes, and that grants you times 6 multiplier. Right, so previously, the non-PR version of Sothoth, its maximum multiplier was its base multiplier now, which is times 4. Right, now it is being increased to times 6, which is, some of you might consider it as not so much of an increase, but take a look at that. Leader times ally, 4 times 4 previously was at a times 16 multiplier at the maximum. Now with a 6 times 6 multiplier, you get a times 36 times multiplier, so that is actually 20 times higher than your non-power release Sothoth, so that is actually pretty massive there. Right, so of course the last part refers to no, it won't be affected by any rune changes effect or active skill. This refers to any Yanxi that actually, or Wenzhong kind of card that actually removes away a certain color runes. Right, so let's take a look at its active skill. So similar to other seal bosses, upon power release you receive 2 active skill, except for poor Odin upon its first release. Alright, so let's take a look at its 2 active skill. The first one, which is at CD10, this is her original active skill. So now it converts 24 random runestones into water, fire, earth, light, dark, and heart. So I assume that it is gonna be of equal numbers, right, of these 6 colored runes here. So previously it did the same, just that it converts 20 instead of 24, and it doesn't include heart runes. So in one turn, all attribute runestones have effect of all attributes. So in this case, although it converts heart runes on the board, heart runes do not contain effect of the 5 attributes, right? So do take note of that. Right, so the biggest game changer of them all is Sothoth's second active skill. This is a very massive game changer for Sothoth, and it's definitely going to bring Sothoth back into the meta. So let's take a look at her second active skill, which is at CD6, and is pretty, I would say is quite similar with something like Lancelot and certain cards like that, which is at CD6 as well. So one special condition, this active skill can only be activated when your HP is above 50%. Alright, so upon doing so, self-attack, which is Sothoth only, doesn't apply to the whole team, if not it's going to be super broken. Sothoth's attack increased by 2.5, times 2.5, self-attack times 2.5. So if there is any additional skills, additional effect during the time of activation, this means that anything such as active skill at the corner of the screen, or permanent buff such as the Enchantress. So Sothoth's self-attack increased to 5 times 5 instead of 2.5. Right, so this is massive. Why is this massive? Because Sothoth have a base attack stat of 3000 plus. Right, so this is going to be extremely high in terms of damage output, and the best of all is that this skill stays in play until your HP drops below 50%. Right, this is massive because it is more like an Enchantress kind of skill really, and then you can actually maintain this active skill pretty easily, right? If you kind of just burst through any stage that you're kind of facing. Right, so having said this, we still have one more section to cover, right, and that is the team skill of Sothoth. So Sothoth, being a seal boss, right, definitely is gonna finally have some synergy with Chaos. As we all know, Chaos have synergy or change of active skill every time it pairs with a certain seal boss as a team member. Right, so this applies to Sothoth finally because she has finally reached 8-star rarity. So team skill 1 applies to when you have leader ally as Chaos. So having Sothoth in the Chaos team as member, right, is gonna change Sothoth active skill 1. So instead of converting 24 water, fire, earth, light, dark, heart, is gonna convert enchanted of all these 6 runes. So of course, having said that, within that one turn, all runes possess effect of each other. So I feel that this is like a change of just a better change in active skill, right? It's not really that much of a difference, just that you actually gain access to enchanted runes in any case that you need some burst for extra damage. Right, so for active skill 2 applies to when you have Sothoth as leader and ally. So extended rune movement time by 20 seconds, so this has no change, right? It's basically the same rune movement time as the non-power release form. So I believe we do not actually need any more time extension because 25-second movement time is a heck ton of time for us to spin, and more than enough for us to spin the whole board actually. So the more demons in your team, the more damage reduction you get per combo you make, right? So to the max you have a damage reduction of 45%, and the non-power release version have a damage reduction maximum of 40%, so there's an increase in 5%, which is not that much, but nonetheless I feel that this team skill is not really that needed because we can actually use her more of a offensive setup more than a defensive setup, right? So this is my point of view for Sothoth's active skill, leader skill, and team skill. So let's take a look at some possible team setups we can form once this card arrive in the TOS realm. So as you can see on the screen now, there is this is an example team setup you can possibly go for Sothoth. So this is the classic Sothoth 3 Enchantress kind of setup, just that now recently we have gotten ourselves another sort of Enchantress card, which is Max Smilodon. So this is extremely usable in a Sothoth team, right, be it non-power release or power release form. So as 4 more combos are made, attack of the monster as well as neighboring fire members times 2.5. So if you place this next to Sothoth, it actually boosts her attack stats by her multiplier in fact by 2.5. So top it off, if you put it in between Medea and Sothoth, this you can actually gain the maximum benefit for this card. Right, so on top of 3 Enchanters, you can only imagine how much damage this team can actually dish off once Sothoth receives its power release. So another possible team you can actually use it in is actually a Lino team. Right, so Lino being free to play, you can actually give this team a shot. So this team, the only downfall is that Lino is gonna launch 1 extra attack less because there is no light team on the light member in the team. Right, so Max Smilodon here is basically the same, 2.5 boost for Lino as well as Sothoth. So Lino dishing out those additional extra attacks is gonna be useful, right? Especially when Max Smilodon here is gonna boost 2.5 times damage. So Lino's gonna do tons of damage, and remember Sothoth's second active skill, which increases her self attack to ×5 whenever there's an additional effect going on. This includes Enchantress as well as Max Smilodon. So you're gonna have a permanent ×2.5 and ×5 self attack for Sothoth. So this is gonna be massive. Surge is there for damage, increasing that damage output, and we have Andromeda, which is assisting us in recovery as well as extra attack as well. So this is a very massive burst team, right? So I can't really wait to try this out. This is gonna be awesome. Right, so this is overall my opinion on Sothoth, right? Hopefully she's gonna be back and into the meta once again, because she used to be such a powerful team, right? Just that over time her multiplier kind of fall off the meta. So having ×6 ×6 multiplier or ×6 team multiplier, right? That's definitely gonna bring her back into the game. So if you enjoy this card review, right, be sure to give this a like and share it with your guild members. Right, till then, see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.